back with another video. Thanks for joining us. Match preview, Manchester United versus Wolves. We're going to get stuck into the team news, selection, all that good stuff later on in the video, so stay tuned. But first of all, Tony, ex-Manchester United right-back Paul Parker, he's come out and been a bit scathing over Erik Ten Hag's handling of Harry Maguire, and he actually thinks he's lying about Maguire having an illness. Now, I know you've seen the quote, so let us know what you think.
Well, he's basically calling Ten Hag a liar and that Harry Maguire wasn't ill, and that's why he wasn't playing and turning up at Old Trafford. Well, I think Paul Parker should know better to come out and call any manager a liar when he talks about the team. Yeah, I was a bit dubious about the illness, but the fact is, Ten Hag, no matter what, is not a liar. What he will be doing, and Paul Parker should know better, he is protecting the news coming out of Manchester United. If he's ill or if he's not ill, right, the thing is, Ten Hag is protecting Manchester United from the media who will hound Ten Hag and the club over Harry Maguire. If he was ill, he was ill. If he's not ill, Ten Hag is protecting Manchester United. Paul Parker, under Alex Ferguson, should know that he will protect his players no matter what. And that's what Ten Hag will be doing if Harry Maguire wasn't ill. And if he is ill, then Paul Parker should be ashamed calling the manager a liar. A professional ex-footballer who should know better. I'm very, very disappointed with him. And what he is doing, he's trying to make a name for himself. He's trying to get himself out there by being outrageous and being part of the hate on Man United.
How do you think Erik Ten Hag's handled this situation with Harry Maguire? And what is your own feelings towards how Erik Ten Hag has explained why Maguire hasn't been in the starting 11? Do you believe he has got an illness, Tony?
I'm very dubious about it, to be honest with you. But
is it the words Parker's come out with actually calling Ten Hag a liar that don't sit well with you, though?
It doesn't sit well with me, and I don't think it'll sit well with anyone out there. Ten Hag, like I say, is using the words to protect Manchester United and the onslaught of the media, anything to do with Harry Maguire. We criticise Harry Maguire, and quite rightly so. If you're not performing, you're not doing the job, you will get criticism, okay? And it is up to the player to improve. But this is a different scenario. Ten Hag is managing the media, and Paul Parker wants to be in the limelight in the media, and he should be ashamed of himself because he, of all people, should understand what it is to be a Manchester United player and how they come under attack. So, Paul Parker, to me, you're gobbing off to try and make a name for yourself and try to get yourself in the media. Shame on you, lad.
Yeah, no, some great comments there. Let us know what you think about Paul Parker's comments. I know you've seen the quote up on screen, so yeah, just let us know your overall thoughts on it in the comments below. Moving on to the game, Tony. Last Premier League game, last game of 2022.
Yeah.
Are you going to spring any surprises on us and not go with a United win on this one?
No, I've got to go a United win. I think Manchester United played against Forest, proper football, passing, movement, intensity. Yes, Forest were a relegation battle, but Wolverhampton Wanderers are in the same position. We've got 3 games. This is the second game of the 3 against relegation fodder, and we should be beating these. I'm going for a 2-0 win. I think United will get behind Wolverhampton Wanderers, and I think they will try and play on the counter-attack. I watched them against Everton. I thought both sides at one point were looking for a draw and quite happy, but they got the breakaway at the end, and I expect Wolves to come at United in the same fashion. Very dour games when we normally play them. I never get excited. I've been to Wolverhampton Wanderers a couple of times lately, and I've been coming out of there proper dejected at the type of football and the atmosphere and everything about it. But Wolves will try and hold the ball and try and keep United at bay. And I think United have got too much firepower. They have to win. This is the second of 3 games before we go into some big games at the end of January against City and Arsenal. We have to get these 3 points.
Yeah, looking back from a year ago, Tony, playing at Old Trafford, they beat us 1-0 with that João Moutinho goal. And come looking back now, looking at our midfield, looking at their midfield, Neves, a lot of people were shouting about Neves wanting him to come to Manchester United, thinking that he'd beef up our midfield, improve our midfield. But you look at Christian Eriksen and Casemiro in that midfield now, he wouldn't even get anywhere near it, in my opinion. I think them two are actually going to be bossing this game at Wolves. I do see that. And the big one for me is, does Martinez come back in at centre-back alongside Varane? We've seen pictures of him this week in training. I fully expect him to be there alongside Varane, and I think it's needed, to be fair.
He will be back, no doubt about it. I think the only change what will happen is Martinez coming back and
Luke Shaw going out left back.
Luke Shaw going to left back. I think the team, that's the only change. Martinez, without a doubt, to me, will come back, and I think United will be too strong for Wolves here. Varane, I was a little bit worried about him after coming back from the World Cup, but he had a good 77 minutes against Nottingham Forest. And I think Anthony will start, even though a lot of people in the comments after the Forest game...
In our comments after that Nottingham Forest game, there was quite a lot of people bashing him, to be honest with you.
He's only been here a short space of time. I think he's had 7 Premier League games. Ronaldo came to Old Trafford as a young lad, right? And he was slaughtered time and time again. And look what happened there. Anthony, just been to the World Cup, disruption, coming over to England, trying to settle in. To me, he's doing fine and he will improve. You just need to back off and just wait and let him perform.
I think he's trying too hard. Some games I do see him, Tony, and I watched the Nottingham Forest game, but sometimes he is trying too hard. But the one thing that he has got, and we was all screaming out for from what we've seen last season, is players who want to run, players who want to track back, players who want to give everything. And every game I've seen him play, that's what he does. And I'm quite happy with him right now. How he's going to be settling in Erik Ten Hag, we trust. He's been with him at Ajax.
Yeah.
He knows what sort of player he's going to be. The potential's there. And I fully trust that. And I just think this season, it could be just one of them where it's a bedding in season. And next year, the years after, you could see the best of him, because to me, he's in the same mould as Riyad Mahrez, even Arjen Robben, who used to play for Chelsea and Bayern Munich. Similar type of players, all one-footed. They very, very rarely use the right foot. And it's just up to him to adapt his game to the Premier League and get the best out of himself. And I'm sure the coaches will, and himself.
Yeah, well, I expect him against Wolves to get behind that defence and get that ball across to Martial, who's going to put the ball in the net, and Rashford's going to do the same. I think that front three against Wolves will perform and will tear them apart. The movement, the passing from the three of them will be excellent. It's looking good. It looked good against Forest, and I can't see it any other way. You'll have Casemiro there doing the orchestra bit, directing everything. Yeah. Eriksen, Bruno, to me, the team is on fire.
Do you know something? Sorry to interrupt, Tony. I was actually a bit gutted with myself after that match reaction against Forest that I didn't ask you about Bruno. And after watching that game again, I thought Bruno was fantastic in that Nottingham Forest game.
Everywhere.
I know Casemiro was mainly the one getting all the plaudits, and rightly so. But Bruno in that game, I thought he was absolutely fantastic. His work rate, his tracking back, his defending, his attacking, linking everything up. He was absolutely on point.
I think what it is with Bruno there, I think the way the team played, right, passing and moving, quick football, the intensity suited Bruno. So I think there's more to come from United. I hope so, because these 3 points are massive. And then to take us on to the Bournemouth game, I'm really, really hoping we get 9 points out of these 3 games. And to be honest, we should get the 9 points. Yeah. If we intend to go further and improve and get in that top 4, get a few loan deals in to get that squad beefed up, then we might just get it. But at the moment, I believe the squad isn't strong enough yet. And I think we may struggle towards the end of the season. But we have to get some loan moves in or buy 1 or 2 players in the January window. And if not, we might just struggle. That's why these points are so important now.
Just before we go, I'd just like to say condolences and rest in peace to Pelé, an iconic footballer. I think his achievements may not ever be matched.
Goes down as the greatest player I've ever seen. 1970 World Cup, absolutely magic. He's won 3 World Cups. You cannot say anyone was better than Pelé. Absolute iconic footballer and the great, great, great man.
Back straight after the game. Thank you.